There are games that don't end when the story does. They pull you into worlds so rich that 100 hours feels like too little. This list brings together adventures that mix exploration, epic battles, and discoveries that never get old. Every game here has something that makes you lose track of time, always wanting to play just a little longer. Get ready to discover worlds that will keep your mind occupied for weeks. And the best part, when you think you've seen everything, there's still so much more to do. Before we start, tell me in the comments, what was the last game that completely hooked you? The one that made you stay up all night playing? If you can, subscribe to the channel to help me grow. It might seem like a small thing, but it makes a huge difference. No more delays, let's get started. Cyberpunk 2077 throws you into a futuristic metropolis where every street breathes danger and opportunity. The story revolves around choices that shape your destiny as you navigate powerful corporations, gangs, and buried secrets in the city. Main and side missions intertwine in a way that makes every decision feel weighty. At the same time, bigger mysteries pull you into investigations that go far beyond shootouts and chases. It's a plot mixing ambition, technology, and consequences at a pace that never lets go of the controller. Gameplay combines first-person combat, hacking, and cybernetic skills that turn every encounter into a puzzle of possibilities. You can hack systems, disable enemies from afar, or go in guns blazing with futuristic weapons. The progression system lets you craft different character builds, encouraging constant experimentation. The streets, full of NPCs and optional activities, make the game feel alive. Every new skill unlocked changes your approach to missions. Exploring Night City is addictive because there's always something grabbing your attention. The urban world is a vertical maze of neon and shadows, filled with secrets and hidden stories. Illegal markets, risky alleys, and skyscrapers shining on the horizon create a sense of staggering scale. Each district seems to have its own personality, from rundown areas to regions controlled by cutting-edge tech. This visual and narrative variety keeps the player constantly curious. Even just walking through the city can lead to unexpected encounters. This density turns every trip around the map into a new discovery. Even after the main story, secret missions, contracts, and collectibles ensure you'll easily spend over 100 hours exploring. Over time, weapon upgrades and cybernetic implants open the door to challenges that were previously impossible. Every return to the city feels like something has changed or evolved. This cycle of exploration, combat, and constant improvement keeps the game calling you back even after dozens of hours. Those who dive into this twisted future rarely leave early. Monster Hunter World is an adventure where hunting colossal creatures becomes the core of everything. The story places you in a new land full of living ecosystems where every step might reveal something gigantic. The plot follows your journey to understand and face monsters that shape the world around you. Between hunting missions and discoveries, the narrative gradually grows, encouraging each new exploration. The feeling of breaking into unknown territories keeps tension and curiosity high. This slow and rewarding pace captures uniquely. Gameplay focuses on strategic combat against huge monsters, demanding preparation and attention to every move. Each weapon has its own personality and completely changes how you fight. Preparation for each hunt involves studying patterns, crafting armor from creature parts, and timing attacks perfectly. Battles last intense minutes, full of opportunities and dangers. Even small victories bring that genuine feeling of accomplishment. Every new monster you find becomes a test of patience and skill. The game world is a dynamic spectacle with dense forests, treacherous deserts, and caves full of life. Ecosystems interact with each other, making creatures fight each other in unexpected events. Exploring every map reveals shortcuts, resources, and dangers that make the hunt unpredictable. There's always something calling your attention, whether a new trail or a creature appearing out of nowhere. This liveliness turns simple walks into memorable moments. The game makes you feel like you're truly on a wild planet. And when it seems to be over, the hunting cycle just grows with more dangerous monsters, special events, and increasingly powerful weapons. Playing solo lets you dive deeper into strategy and enjoy every world detail at your own pace. The feeling of progress comes naturally, with every victory paving the way for even bigger challenges. It's easy to lose track of time upgrading your hunter and mastering every creature. This is the kind of adventure that easily takes over 100 hours without getting boring. Lords of the Fallen places you in a dark world marked by ancient wars and fallen gods. The story revolves around a seemingly endless conflict where the balance between light and darkness is always on the brink of collapse. Every location reveals ruins of old battles and creatures carrying the weight of past eras. The plot unfolds as you progress, leaving small clues that encourage exploration. This atmosphere of mystery hooks you from the very first steps, and each victory against colossal bosses deepens the feeling of accomplishment. In gameplay, the focus is on challenging combat that demands precision and patience. The pace is measured, where any mistake can be costly, creating tension in every duel. Various weapons and fighting styles allow for unique approaches, from heavy attacks to more agile combos. Progression rewards attention to detail, making every enemy an obstacle to be studied. Exploring dark corridors and silent rooms always carries the risk of surprises. It's the kind of game that requires focus and rewards dedication. The game world impresses with its ruined castles, dark forests, and caves full of secrets. The feeling of being constantly surrounded by danger and untold stories creates immediate immersion. Every environment conveys a piece of the narrative, whether through broken statues or forgotten altars. The variety of settings makes each part of the journey unique. Careful exploration always reveals shortcuts or unexpected rewards. It's a world made to be absorbed slowly, without hurry. Even after dozens of hours, the game keeps offering challenges for those wanting to test their limits. Secret bosses, alternative routes, and equipment upgrades prolong the journey far beyond the main story. The feeling of evolution is constant, whether mastering new techniques or conquering previously unreachable areas. Each return to known regions can reveal something new. This cycle of difficulty and overcoming keeps the fire burning for more than 100 hours. Fallout 4 begins in a world devastated by nuclear war, where leaving the shelter is stepping into a survival nightmare. The story mixes personal search for answers with rebuilding a life amid chaos. Exploring the ruins reveals fragmented societies, rival factions, and secrets of the old world. The narrative advances organically, with choices that define the course of your adventure. Every decision matters, whether intense conversations or unavoidable confrontations. The feeling of isolation and discovery hooks you from the start. Gameplay offers total freedom to create your own rhythm of exploration and combat. You can craft customized weapons, face mutants, or try to resolve conflicts by other means. Settlement building adds a strategic layer, turning ruins into small refuges. Gathering resources and crafting gear maintain the sense of constant progress. Combat, whether first or third person, adapts to your playstyle. Every expedition beyond the shelter walls is a mix of tension and anticipation. The map is vast, full of iconic locations, ruined cities, and radioactive zones hiding dangers and rewards. The variety of environments turns simple walks into small adventures. You never know when you'll find a deadly enemy or forgotten treasure. Every corner tells a story, whether through abandoned diaries or structures revealing ancient tragedies. This feeling that there's always something new lurking keeps exploration engaging. It's the kind of world that invites hours spent just observing details. Even after completing the main campaign, the game continues to offer content through side quests, collectibles, and expansions. Customizing weapons, armor, and bases extends the fun, encouraging constant experimentation. It's easy to spend over 100 hours without noticing time passing, always finding reasons to return to the map. With each new playthrough, different paths emerge, making the journey unique. It's this freedom that turns every session into a story all your own. Baldur's Gate 3 opens the doors to a world where every step can change your fate. The story begins with a silent threat, a parasite that transforms people into something that challenges humanity itself. From the first dialogues, the game provokes moral dilemmas and tough choices that echo throughout the journey. Fragile alliances, betrayals, and ancient secrets intertwine in a narrative that never lets you relax. Each chapter raises the tension and the feeling of shaping a living world. This intensity turns every playthrough into a memorable adventure. In combat, every decision is carefully calculated. The turn-based system makes each encounter strategic, requiring smart use of terrain and each party member's unique abilities. Choosing between attacking, defending, or setting traps can define victory or defeat. The variety of classes and spells encourages constant experimentation, making every battle different from the last. Between fights, quests, and dialogues deepen your connection with the world. The pace alternates between tension and satisfying moments in an engaging way. Exploring the setting is like flipping through a book full of secret pages. Hidden caves, enchanted forests, and forgotten ruins reveal their own stories, expanding the feeling of being in a living tabletop campaign. The verticality of the map lets you find creative solutions to problems, from secret paths to unexpected ambushes. Every visual detail or item found seems to carry a story behind it. This care turns simple exploration into a rewarding experience. The more you observe, the more the world seems to open up. Hours pass almost unnoticed because there's always a reason to keep going. It might be curiosity about an unfinished quest, wanting to test a new strategy, or the desire to see the consequences of a risky choice. New dialogues pop up when you least expect them, and alternative paths invite you to restart with different perspectives. The feeling isn't of finishing a game, but living a saga that extends as long as there are stories to tell. Breath of the Wild begins with total freedom, letting you face the world at your own pace. The plot is gradually uncovered in lost memories, ancient ruins, and encounters revealing the kingdom's forgotten past. This fragmented narrative encourages curiosity, making each new discovery feel significant. The main journey never pressures you, allowing you to follow your own paths. This genuine sense of adventure gives the story a unique personality. Challenges appear naturally during exploration, whether through unexpected enemies, clever puzzles, or storms that change the environment. The game's physics turn any obstacle into an opportunity for creativity. Climbing a mountain might require improvisation, and defeating an enemy might depend on the weather or terrain. Testing different strategies becomes part of the fun, creating unique moments in every attempt. This variety keeps the game constantly interesting. The map is a constant invitation to explore. Deserts, snowy peaks, dense forests, and tranquil lakes form a landscape in constant transformation. Animals, enemies, and natural phenomena bring the world to life, making every trip unpredictable. Simply seeing a distant structure awakens the desire to reach it. Small discoveries, like a hidden chest or secret shrine, reinforce the feeling of progress. The game turns curiosity into fuel to keep going. The long journey happens almost effortlessly because there's always something that catches your attention. An unexplored territory on the horizon, new gear to test, or a challenge left for later. The game creates cycles of exploration and conquest that feed themselves, and every return to the map opens new possibilities. Instead of feeling like the adventure ends, you realize it evolves according to your decisions. It's the kind of world that stays alive as long as you want to explore it. Wasteland 3 takes you to a frozen and devastated America where survival depends on tough choices. The story begins with your team of rangers trying to establish a base amid the chaos of Colorado. Violent factions fight for control, and every alliance can mean safety or betrayal. Branching dialogues shape the campaign's course, making every decision a calculated risk. The plot mixes brutal politics with moments of sharp humor, creating an unpredictable narrative. It's the kind of world where trust is a rare and expensive resource. Combat follows a tactical turn-based style, demanding careful planning. Positioning characters, using cover, and choosing the right weapons is essential for survival. Customizing your team lets you create unique strategies, whether with heavy weapons experts or hackers who disable enemies from afar. Every encounter brings tension and the feeling that any mistake can be fatal. Between battles, resource and base management adds depth to gameplay. This blend makes progress steady and rewarding. Exploring the map means uncovering hidden stories in every icy corner. Destroyed villages, secret facilities, and random encounters reveal that the world keeps moving even outside main missions. Interacting with different factions leads to real consequences, opening or closing doors for the future. Every journey through the ice holds surprises that can change your plans. It's this unpredictability that keeps interest alive during hours of play. The more you take risks, the more rewards appear. The long pace holds because the game never gives everything at once. New weapons, unexpected missions, and dynamic events pop up when least expected. Replaying the campaign with different choices reveals new paths and surprising results. The feeling is of leading your own saga, with stories that exist only because you decided to create them. This way, 100 hours pass, like part of one single intense mission. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 transports you to a raw, detailed medieval Europe where politics and survival intertwine. The narrative follows the impact of wars and conspiracies in a region full of territorial conflicts. Unlike fantasy worlds, everything here is governed by historical reality, making every action feel like part of a human drama. Dialogues, alliances, and intrigues drive the story at a steady pace. Each moment lived reinforces the feeling of being inside a medieval chronicle in progress. The gameplay focuses on absolute realism. Combat requires mastery of sword techniques, archery, and dodging, with weight and rhythm reminiscent of real duels. Hunger, sleep, and equipment maintenance are important factors, making the routine as strategic as it is dangerous. Missions can be completed in various ways, including stealth, diplomacy, or direct confrontation. The difficulty comes from a world that doesn't forgive mistakes, and every victory feels genuinely earned. This approach turns every challenge into a memorable moment. Villages, castles, and forests on the map create a living, functioning setting. Merchants have routines, guards react to suspicion, and travelers cross paths as if they really inhabited that world. The day-night cycle alters mission dynamics, opening opportunities or increasing risks. Exploring slowly reveals secrets, from bandit hideouts to shortcuts that ease travel. It's a world that rewards curiosity and attention to detail. The more you observe, the richer it becomes. The game keeps you hooked for hours because there's always something new to try. A different fight, a side quest that changes your perception of the story, or just the attempt to improve your gear. The feeling of progress comes from both character growth and your mastery of the system. Even after great victories, the world stays alive, reacting to your actions. It's like each session is a natural continuation of your own medieval story. Elden Ring presents a fragmented and mysterious world where ancient forces compete over the remnants of lost power. The story is told in fragments, spread across ruins, weapons, and enigmatic encounters. Every new area explored seems to hide a hidden truth about the kingdom's downfall. Characters emerge with their own often ambiguous goals, increasing the weight of every decision. The feeling of isolation and curiosity drives the journey at a steady pace. It's a narrative that grows as you venture into unknown territories. In combat, the game shines with its mix of intensity and freedom. Every enemy demands attention and strategy, turning battles into duels of patience and skill. Weapons, magic, and fighting styles create endless possibilities, encouraging you to experiment. Colossal bosses mark moments of pure challenge, bringing that signature thrill of the genre. Moreover, exploration ties directly to combat, as choosing routes and encounters wisely can save your life. This blend of danger and reward keeps tension constant. The open map is a spectacle on its own, filled with dark forests, imposing castles, and treacherous swamps. Each region has its own identity, encouraging exploration with promises of secrets or unique enemies. Hidden caves and alternative passages create a genuine sense of discovery. Items and shortcuts appear when least expected, and every visual detail seems to tell a story. It's the kind of world that invites attentive and rewarding observation. Every step reveals something new and unpredictable. Time flies because there's always a reason to keep going, an enemy you want to defeat, a mysterious place seen from afar, or an area left for later. The game turns curiosity into fuel, creating a journey that never feels repetitive. Even after dozens of hours, the map still holds surprises for those willing to explore. It's this feeling of continuous adventure that turns every session into an epic chapter of your own legend. Oblivion plunges you into a story of crisis and hope, where portals to another world threaten to destroy the realm. The narrative mixes politics, magic, and dark wars, placing you at the center of events that define the Empire's future. Every main mission leads to discoveries about the growing threat and mysteries behind these portals. The lines between allies and enemies are thin, and choices shape how the story unfolds. This feeling of being in a grand saga accompanies the entire campaign. Gameplay combines first-person action with near-total freedom. You can create unique characters, choose combat styles, and mix magic with traditional weapons. Each skill evolves with use, encouraging you to experiment with new ways to face challenges. Side quests arise naturally, with stories as engaging as the main plot. From battles against dangerous creatures to planned heists, every activity adds new layers to the adventure. This variety keeps interest consistently high. The open world is vast and full of life. Forests, villages, mountains, and dungeons create a setting where every journey brings discoveries. Exploration is enhanced by unpredictability. You never know if you'll find a powerful enemy, hidden treasure, or new quest. The day-night cycle, combined with NPC behavior, gives the map a rare sense of authenticity. Every corner of the environment seems to have a reason to exist. The more you get lost in it, the more it rewards you. Even after dozens of hours, the game keeps offering reasons to return. New guilds, side adventures, and secrets in distant regions keep the exploration cycle alive. There's always a mountain to climb, a cave to clear, or a story you haven't discovered yet. This freedom to follow any direction makes each session unique. Oblivion doesn't just take your time, it creates memories that last long after the last mission is completed. Outer Wilds begins with a small ship and a huge question: what's happening with the universe? The story revolves around a solar system caught in a mysterious cycle, where every planet holds clues to an ancient civilization. The plot builds through exploration without obvious paths, making you feel like every discovery is genuinely yours. Secrets are scattered among ruins, writings, and unexpected space phenomena. This blend of science and mystery creates an irresistible curiosity. Gameplay bets on total freedom of exploration. You pilot your ship, land on planets, and investigate places that feel alive and constantly changing. Flight and gravity physics make each trip different from the last. There's no combat, but dangers are everywhere. Black holes, hostile atmospheres, and time itself work against you. Every attempt teaches something new, turning every failure into part of the adventure. It's a constant learning cycle that hooks you without rush. The planets are the game's great spectacle. Small in size but huge in personality, they change as you explore them. Mountains collapse, rivers move, and structures fall apart in real time. The feeling is of taking part in something alive, continuing even when you're not around. Every detail in the scenery feels like an invitation to investigate. Exploration stops being mere curiosity and becomes the key to understanding the fate of the entire system. What keeps you playing for so many hours is the promise of answers. Every clue leads to another, creating a web of secrets that only reveals itself to those who persist. The feeling of completing the story is almost personal, as if no one else has lived the same adventure. Even after uncovering the central mystery, revisiting planets brings new perspectives. It's a game that turns curiosity into fuel and makes every discovery unforgettable. The Outer Worlds kicks off with you waking up in a space colony on the brink of chaos, where megacorporations control everything. The story unfolds through choices that shape alliances, enemies, and even the fate of entire planets. Every conversation can open doors or spark conflicts, making it clear that freedom comes at a price. Decisions never feel simple, and consequences show up fast. The mix of sharp humor with social critique gives the narrative a unique tone. It's an invitation to explore at your own pace, but always stay alert. Gameplay blends first-person shooting with deep RPG elements. You can customize skills, recruit companions, and adapt combat to your style. Weapons range from conventional rifles to wild, creative options, keeping every encounter unpredictable. The dynamic dialogue system lets you solve problems with both bullets and words. Side quests appear naturally and often surprise with their own stories. This freedom turns every hour into a different adventure. Planets offer varied settings, from neon-soaked industrial cities to forgotten deserts. Each area holds secrets, hidden paths, and unexpected events that reward exploration. NPCs follow routines and have their own attitudes, creating a feeling of a living universe. Between missions, it's easy to get lost in the details and find new opportunities. The game world always feels ready to respond to your actions. This constant dynamism makes every journey worthwhile. The interest stays alive because there's always something new to try. A bold decision, a fresh weapon, or an area you haven't dared to explore yet. The game turns every choice into part of a story that exists only because you built it. Even after long hours, new combinations of decisions and routes keep the pace fresh. It's the kind of adventure that makes you come back just to see what could have happened differently. Shin Megami Tensei begins in a quiet Tokyo, soon transformed into a post-apocalyptic wasteland ruled by angels and demons. The story throws you into a war between celestial forces where every decision can change the world's course. The narrative doesn't rush to reveal its cards, and every encounter with mysterious beings raises more questions. The weight of choices is felt in every dialogue and battle. This growing sense of mystery drives the journey forward. Turn-based combat is strategic and ruthless. Exploiting enemy elemental weaknesses is essential, and a single mistake can cost the entire battle. The system of recruiting and fusing demons adds depth, creating endless combinations for your team. Every new ally can completely change your combat approach. Side quests and exploration between fights reinforce an addictive cycle of growth. The game demands focus, but rewards with unforgettable victories. The game world blends modern ruins with surreal landscapes filled with legendary creatures. Exploring each area brings both danger and curiosity, as powerful enemies lurk around every corner. Secrets, rare items, and optional encounters await the brave. The feeling of walking through a distorted supernatural city is unique. This contrast between the familiar and the impossible keeps the interest burning. The more you risk, the more the game reveals its richness. What hooks you for hours is the constant evolution of your team and story. New fusions create powerful demons, opening paths once impossible. Replay with different choices changes alliances and endings, extending the campaign's lifespan. It's a game that makes every decision feel memorable and personal. Even after a long time, there's always a challenge waiting for you. Outward puts you in a survival adventure where there's no such thing as an invincible hero. The story starts with debts and responsibilities, forcing you to face dangers to earn your freedom. The game bets on a realistic narrative where failure is part of the path and every victory feels hard-earned. There are no easy solutions. Choices define routes and consequences appear when you least expect. This sense of vulnerability creates a unique connection with the world. In gameplay, attention is key. Combat requires planning since enemies can easily defeat you if you rush. Preparing equipment, treating wounds, and managing resources become routine before any expedition. Magic and skills depend on study and careful execution, adding strategic weight to each encounter. The lack of fast travel reinforces the journey's feel, making you sense every kilometer traveled. It's a game that values every cautious step you take. The map is vast and full of distinct biomes, from scorching deserts to shadowy forests. Every trip must be planned to avoid hunger, cold, or surprise ambushes. Exploration is slow but rewarding, with secrets spread across caves and forgotten ruins. The feeling of isolation is intense, reinforcing the constant danger vibe. Every detail in the environment demands attention and strategy. It's a world that punishes distractions but rewards the curious. Longevity comes from the desire to overcome yourself. Every successful expedition, discovered route, and defeated enemy strengthens the feeling of genuine progress. The game turns survival into motivation, and each session leaves you wanting to try more. Even after many hours, there's still that sense the world holds dangers you haven't faced yet. Outward makes every achievement feel earned and unforgettable. Pathfinder opens with an epic war against demonic forces, where you take on the role of a commander amid the chaos. The story is grand and packed with choices that can change the entire conflict's fate. Rich dialogues and moral dilemmas come with every decision, making it clear that power and responsibility go hand in hand. The scale grows as you progress, moving from personal battles to decisions that shape kingdoms. It's a campaign mixing drama, strategy, and dark fantasy. Gameplay impresses with variety. The tactical system offers turn-based battles full of strategic possibilities. Building the ideal party and managing skills is just as important as fighting. Spells, buffs, and positioning can decide victory or defeat in seconds. Outside combat, troop and resource management add another layer of depth. It's a game that rewards constant attention and planning. The world is huge and full of secrets for those who love to explore. War-torn cities, abandoned fortresses, and corrupted lands offer unique challenges and rewards. Every corner of the map seems to tell its own story, whether through quests or environmental details. The setting reinforces urgency and danger, keeping you immersed in the conflict. The further you go, the more you realize how deeply the war affects everything around. What keeps you playing for so many hours is the freedom to carve your own path. Choices impact not only the plot, but also the fate of allies and enemies. Different campaigns bring new experiences, encouraging restarts with opposite decisions. The game turns each journey into a personal story, full of epic and unpredictable moments. Even after dozens of hours, there's always a feeling that something new awaits discovery. Kingdom 2 Crowns starts with a simple but addictive goal: build a kingdom and protect it from threats that come every night. The story unfolds without long dialogues, using the world itself to tell a tale of rise and fall. Every achievement, every land expansion reinforces the weight of your choices. The game delivers a feeling of a quiet journey, where progress comes from observing and caring for every detail. It's a minimalist story, yet full of meaning. Gameplay has you managing resources while balancing offense and defense. Coins are your main weapon and must be wisely invested to strengthen walls, recruit soldiers, and expand territory. The day-night cycle sets the pace, making every decision urgent. Simple controls hide a strategic depth that surprises over time. Watching your kingdom grow and withstand attacks feels incredibly rewarding. The visuals are stunning, featuring dense forests, calm rivers, and mysterious ruins hiding dangers and chances. Each island brings its own challenges and invites you to rethink defense strategies. Animals, weather, and terrain all affect your progress, making each game unique. Slow but rewarding exploration creates moments of tension and relief in turn. The world feels alive and subtly reacts to your presence. It's easy to lose track of time trying to conquer every inch of land. The game keeps you hooked for hours because there's always a new goal ahead. Survive the next night, unlock upgrades, or uncover hidden secrets to keep the momentum going. Even after building a strong kingdom, you'll want to try a different approach on another island. Kingdom 2 Crowns turns repetition into learning, making every session feel like a fresh story. It's this steady sense of progress that keeps you coming back. Chained Echoes offers a classic RPG adventure set in a war-torn world full of intrigue and secrets. The story mixes political conflict with magical events, crafting a dense and thrilling narrative. From the start, it's clear every nation, side character, and plot twist is part of something bigger. The plot's progression grips you because everything feels connected and important. It's one of those RPGs that makes you want to read every dialogue and explore every town. Turn-based combat delivers a strategic and addictive rhythm. You manage skills, equipment, and an overdrive gauge that adds an extra layer of planning. Facing enemies demands attention, and every victory boosts your sense of growth. The presence of mechas and special abilities adds variety, keeping battles fresh for dozens of hours. Building balanced teams is part of the fun. Each fight feels like a small puzzle. The game world is rich with cities, open fields, and dungeons hiding chests and secrets. Exploration rewards curiosity, offering powerful weapons, side quests, and parallel stories that expand the universe. The pixel art visuals are detailed and vibrant, turning every scene into an invitation to look closer. The sense of discovery stays constant, with rewards pushing you beyond the main story. The more you explore, the bigger the game feels. What keeps you playing for over 100 hours is the mix of engaging story and rewarding progression. Every mission completed, rare gear found, and strategy fused strengthens the feeling of accomplishment. Replay with different approaches or complete optional objectives to extend the adventure even more. Chained Echoes doesn't just deliver a story, it offers a full journey that feels endless. It's the kind of RPG you miss before you even finish. Edge of Eternity throws you into a world devastated by war between humans and alien forces. The story blends personal drama with epic-scale events, exploring survival and sacrifice. Every narrative step brings dilemmas that test loyalties and question who's really right. The mix of sci-fi and fantasy creates unexpected and captivating moments. The plot pulls you forward even when the world seems lost. Turn-based combat is strategic and requires attention to positioning on a hexagonal grid. Skills and magic can be combined for devastating combos, while enemies punish any carelessness. Character customization and gear upgrades make each fight meaningful. The game values planning, turning battles into rewarding challenges. Between fights, missions, and events deepen the story's impact. Every win feels earned after so much care. The environments stand out for their diversity, from crystal-covered plains to ruined cities reclaimed by nature. Massive creatures and vast landscapes reinforce the feeling of a living, threatening world. Exploring every corner reveals hidden caches, secret enemies, and pieces of the planet's history. This freedom encourages curiosity and drives the adventure's rhythm. The world always seems ready to show something new to those who dare explore it fully. The real reward lies in the constant sense of progress. You level up characters, unlock skills, and see story consequences grow stronger. Every long journey uncovers new layers of plot and challenges demanding your best. Even after dozens of hours, the feeling of discovery stays strong. Edge of Eternity turns persistence into reward, making every session feel like part of an epic saga. Tales of Iron starts in a rat kingdom devastated by a brutal invasion of warrior frogs. The story is straightforward but intense, showing a fight to reclaim lands and restore peace. Every step in the campaign feels like a battle for the survival of the remaining people. The narrative delivers urgency, making each victory a spark of hope amid chaos. It's an adventure mixing simplicity with emotional impact. Gameplay features challenging, precise combat. Enemy attacks are deadly, demanding quick reflexes and careful reading of movement patterns. The weapon and armor arsenal allow different styles, encouraging constant adaptation. Boss fights are brutal, testing patience and strategy equally. Every one fight is a triumph that prepares you better for what's next. The game punishes carelessness but rewards discipline. The settings have a dark beauty, with ruined villages, damp caves, and detailed battlefields. Insects, frogs, and other foes reinforce the hostile atmosphere of a world at war. Careful exploration reveals resources, upgrades, and hidden secrets. The 2D design turns the journey into a kind of dark fable. Each new location strengthens the feeling of being in enemy territory, surrounded by dangers on all sides. What keeps you playing so long is the constant feeling of overcoming challenges. With every victory, the world seems a bit less cruel, and the drive to move forward grows stronger. Between character upgrades and new challenges, the cycle of trial and triumph becomes addictive. Even after hours, there's always an enemy or area that sparks curiosity and tension. Tales of Iron turns persistence into pride, making each conquest unforgettable. So which of these games are you planning to start or revisit after this list? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear what your next 100+ hour marathon will be. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss upcoming game lists. Share this video with that friend who also loves to spend hours on great single-player games. And if you want to keep the vibe going, click the video popping up on your screen now and let's jump into the next adventure. Big hugs, have a great gameplay, and see you tomorrow.